the team on opening day. And in Baltimore, in those days, all those games were sold out. But people would sort of come in with their checks or their cash. You know, it's not like it is now. Hey, Upton, where's my tickets? And suddenly, Upton's standing in the ticket window there a week before the game and finding that people are asking for their tickets, and he can't seem to locate the tickets.
You wouldn't believe this, and actually, this is how computerization came into pro football. It wasn't in scouting. Earlier in the year, Robert Kennedy calls Carol Rosenblum. Now, a little background of that. Carol Rosenblum and President Kennedy, and particularly Carol Rosenblum, did a lot of deals with the Kennedy family, particularly the father. In fact, when the Colts won the championship, he had a plane called Caroline 3, and they would fly the players down to Hyannisport, Unitas, Marchetti, Raymond Berry, and all these people to play touch football with the president's family. And one of the great stories when I first got to camp is Unitas or one of them saying, "Can you believe the Kennedys? They didn't know who the hell we were." And here's Bobby Kennedy telling the greatest quarterback in history, "Listen, get your ass out there. I'll be throwing the passes." And so this is how famous, before the internet, before Twitter, before everything, the Colts were really America's team. They go down there, they fly down there, they play touch football with the Kennedys. The players would come back and say, "What the hell was that all about?" Unlike people today who want to pose with everybody. But that's kind of who they were. Anyway, 1962, my second year, I'm working in the ticket office. And you had to work your way up then. This guy arrives, his name is Mike Hoffman, he's got 8 kids, and he's been in the Navy for years. And Bobby Kennedy had called Rosenblum and saying, you need a new ticket manager. I've got one of the most honest people you ever find. He's been in the Navy. You'll absolutely love him. So this guy shows up, and I have to tell you, I can't think of anybody that was full of more of you-know-what than Mike. But you loved him. He always said, "Bag it." And bag it meant at 5 o'clock every day, because it was cash and checks. And mostly, remember, every game was sold out, every seat. They would fight in their wills. There were many of the famous cases in Baltimore, people fighting if they got divorced or within the family over cold tickets. I mean, that was manna. So every day I used to say, "What the hell is going on here?" He kept saying, "Bag it." So I'd see these big bags go out the door, and it was to the Armored Service that would then take it and deposit it. What I didn't realize was there was one bag for the Armored Services and one bag for Hoffman. So 4 days before the game, he disappears. And the next thing we know is that he's left town, but basically what he's done, including, we had a presidential box for the Kennedys. They come, wherever it was on Sunday, with either their wives or their girlfriends, take your pick. So what he did is he sold most of the tickets twice, took the cash, not the checks, and went home and buried them under his bed. So this would be a perfect Martin book right here. So the next thing we know, now the FBI's involved, everybody's looking for him. He's left town. They've got the wife, and she finds $30,000 in cash under the beds, under the mattress. But here's the biggest problem. It's Art Donovan's Day, which it's got a beautiful, because it's a very dramatic ending. But what happened was people went crazy, and now I was sitting in the ticket window, and people were coming to the window and threatening my life and everybody in there because they had no ticket. There were no tickets. So we have Art Donovan Day coming up, and there it is. Hoffman's gone. The FBI's involved. He's out somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and we're stuck with no tickets and 62,000 people who are going to show up. We had to order extra stands, everything else like that. And of course, it's Artie Donovan Day. They actually had to bring some of the players down, which would never happen today, to protect us in the ticket office with the cops, so it wouldn't be overrun and people would be killed or whatever else it is. So then that day comes. I'll have you explain Donovan coming out on the field, which was really dramatic. Unlike today where everybody gets into the Patriots Hall of Fame and Bob Kraft goes on forever about it, what a great owner he is.